Alright, I'm going to give a quick demonstration of how I use Sketch and Flinto to create prototypes. So I have set up here two artboards for the blog post section of WordPress.com. The first one is a row-based design that shows a list of your posts here. And then when you click on one, this is the state I want it to look like when you click on it. So it expands, it gets a little focused highlight, and some buttons and stuff show up. So I have this all set up in Sketch. I'm going to go ahead and select these two artboards and send them to Flinto with the Flinto plugin for Sketch. So now here we have Flinto, which looks a lot like Sketch, and you can see all of our layers come over, even our layer groups and our names and everything, so that's super handy. And the Flinto plugin for Sketch will actually sync changes too. So now if I go back to Sketch and make a change to one of my symbols or something, I can sync that artboard again and it'll update it in Flinto automatically. So let's start hooking things up. So we're going to start by drawing a link right around this row here, so that when you click on this row, it takes you to this screen. And we're going to go ahead and create a new transition. Now what we have here are our two artboards now. We're in the transition designer. And what you can see here is there's a start and an end. And when you click the play button, it'll actually show you it's got a built-in transition to just kind of slide the screen into place. And sometimes that's not bad, that's actually really good on mobile, but on desktop here, we have a lot of similar elements and we don't want to actually slide anything in. So we're going to click this little align screens checkbox. Now what this does is it puts the end screen right on top of the beginning screen. So when I click to go from the start to the end here, you notice nothing actually changes. And so the easiest way to start with that is we have to look at our layers here. And over here on the top is post expanded. This is our end screen. So the first problem we'll notice is that we have a background that's over top. We can actually just take that and drag that down to the bottom, and now you see our other layers start to shine through. And now, so what we want to do for posts, if we open up posts here in both, we can look at, here's the first post at the start screen, and in the end screen we don't want that post to move at all, we want it to stay. Right? The post we do want to move, sometimes I find it's a little helpful to make the top layer just a little opaque. And so what we can do now is say, so this post expanded is the second post. We want it to start up higher. We just kind of line it up here with our eyes. And then this post comes up under that one. And then the other ones that are here at the bottom and the labels that go along with them can slide up to match. So that's kind of the onion skinning of the transparency, makes it a little easier for us to line things up. And now I'm using the space bar here to kind of jump the transition back and forth. And we see it's starting to look a little better. On the end screen, we need to do the same thing with these posts, right? Because they need to slide down now to match. And this one needs to slide down now to match. And you can see we have some handy guides that kind of snap things into place for us. Now this one, the second post here, so I'll go back and forth now. You can see we're kind of getting there. We're getting there. What we want to do is we want to make, let's get rid of our transparency again, because we don't want anything to be transparent. We want them to slide down. Now what we need to do is with the start for this post expanded here, is I'm going to grab the card here. I'm going to change the height of that, and then we're going to make that, so it's got to come down a little too. I'm not trying to be exact here, I'm just kind of eyeing things, because remember again, this is a prototype, it's more about speed than anything else. So we got that, so now the card should expand. That looks good. It fades in and expands. But we need to figure out what we're going to do with these action buttons. What are these? Where are these things going to go? I think probably what we'll just do is start them up higher so that they kind of slide in. That looks pretty good. But they should be transparent. That's not bad. And oh, you know, we missed This should also slide. There we go. So we have our edit button, view button, our secondary action, and our Griticon ellipse. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of a delay here, so that they kind of come in a second later, and they're starting up too high, which I don't like. So we can just kind of move them down a little. Still a little too high. Maybe it's the delay is too much. Well, it's not bad. I don't mind it. And you can see here too, you actually have some different timings. I think, I'm not sure what this RK4 UI kit, I think is an iOS maybe type. But you can see they're just slightly different. And then you have your classic, linear, ease in, ease out, ease in and out. And these all just feel slightly different, So I tend to just use the default one for most things, and then oftentimes you can actually just drag these sliders around too and get some pretty interesting results. So I'll go ahead and save and exit that now, and then if we go to our preview, we can actually open up our preview. It just gives us a look, and I'll go ahead and click on that, and there's our transition.